Come meal prep, a really easy veggie loaded side, main dish, lunch, whatever you want to call it. This is my lunch prep for the week. So we're making basically quinoa and veggies, meaning we heat up the water and we're gonna heat our oil and then grab all the veggies you have on hand. Gotta start with some carrots for me, gotta feed the dogs, of course. And then let's speed it up. So chop up your veggies. I usually go for the more hearty vegetables first because those are gonna take longer to cook. So you wanna add them at the beginning. Then you go from most hearty down to least hearty, adding a little bit at a time. So here I'm using some summer squash, and then I'm also going to add in some zucchini. This isn't 100% low FODMAP if that's what you're looking for, but you can easily sub out maybe green beans or something else that you tolerate even better. We aren't in culinary school, so chop your veggies however you want. This is my method. I don't care if they're super uniform, but I do want them thick enough, to really mix well with that quinoa and to mix well with each other. Salting a little bit as I go, just to bring out all the natural flavors of my vegetables, and then I'll continue to add some flavor, again, as I'm going. One thing I didn't mention is that my oil that I'm using here is a garlic infused olive oil. This adds a garlic flavor without the FODMAPs, but you can also add garlic and onion if you prefer. You would add those first for that aromatic flavor. Quinoa added into the boiling water, trying to be efficient with our time. And now we're gonna chop some tomatoes, take a little snack break, and then let's speed it up. These took the longest, but you get into a groove, snack as you go, it'll be fun. Bonus points if you can find these local during the summertime. One of my absolute favorite things about living in the South, but that is not what I found in making this video. So this is just the real life of where I was at. I like cutting these into halves. That way they're adding a little bit of juiciness to my dish. You could also put them in whole, chop them more, whatever you want, or even use canned diced tomatoes. Now I'm also adding some green onion stems. These are a low FODMAP option to add in that aromatic flavor. You could add in the entire green onion if you tolerate onions well, or again, just start with onions or shallots or something like that if you can tolerate it. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful those colors go together? A little bit more salt. Now we're gonna add more of our seasonings and flavors. So we have freshly ground black pepper, perfect pairing with salt. You don't have to use this, but I think it's necessary in any dish ever. And then we're using a bit of kind of dried and fresh herbs. So I'm adding some dried basil here. Fresh basil would also be delicious. And then I did have some fresh parsley. So I'm just cutting that up and adding that in as much as I can. You could add cilantro if you like that. You could add, really any herbs that you have available. The more, the better, in my opinion. And another side note to say, these little scissors for herbs are so incredibly helpful. So that's my go-to. Next, I'm adding lemon. I had a ginormous lemon, so you can see I'm struggling a little bit with this little lemon juicer, but we made it work. So we had to cut the lemon in fourths, but you would add about a medium size of a lemon. This is really gonna add that summery crispness to your vegetable dish. You could also do vinegar as your acid if you prefer. A balsamic vinegar would be really good here. You could do lime, orange juice, whatever you really like or have on hand. And again, look and appreciate how beautiful all of these colors are coming together. This is almost like a ratatouille spin, if you will, almost like a lazy ratatouille. I think that's a good name for it. But I wanna make sure all those flavors are mixing in so that all the vegetables get equal amounts of love. And then I do have a little secret ingredient of adding some cinnamon. This may take away some of the summeriness to it, but I think it gives it a depth of flavor. You could always leave it out or add maybe something spicy if you want to. It's up to you and what you like. Now I'm just mixing it all together. So you could do this separate. And then we did use quinoa here, which is an incredible protein-packed, fiber-packed grain, which is kind of really a seed. But if you don't tolerate that, you could also do this with rice. You could also omit the grain completely. You could add potatoes or sweet potatoes. It depends on how you want to eat this. So totally your choice, but I was doing this for a lunch prep. So I wanted to get the protein and the starchiness of the carb. Now I'm just gonna serve myself, put it in a bowl. You could mix this with a protein of choice like tofu, salmon, chicken, whatever you like, and then simply enjoy it. I'd love to hear your spin on it in the comments.